Konrad, are you afraid of dying?
No, I prefer to avoid it. But seriously, Arijana, you use the great terms of our physics: entropy, action, and even entropy through action. But you again, as an artist, ask the deeper question on their origin. If we stay to induction, to creation, to have the brain first, the cerebral cortex, putting his ideas in order and later bringing it to the test of the senses and never more exchanging this sequence, then I'm not afraid of dying. I am hopeful that some of the viewpoints which have obscured my insight are dying. Many are dead since long due to a paradox, like Schrödinger's cat. But they are not dying due to our adaptation and assimilation. Entropy through action is a limited view, but the greatest we can achieve in physics. When we start from numbers and when we realize that minds such as Descartes, such as Gauss, have taught us at the end that it can be uncertainty we are describing with certainty. And it can be certainty or action or mechanics which has uncertainties. It still has. So we are curious of becoming better. And that the paradoxes will die. And what we hopefully call truth will survive.
Konrad, do mathematicians calculate their fear?
I give you a very nice example. This time it is Kurt Gödel. And I give you his proof of what mathematicians fear most. And nobody could help. Nobody could help to this date that the proven statements of mathematics have been proven to be unprovable. Kurt Gödel, 1931. After Russell White had raised this great hope that we have now a complete logic, he proved it. The proof was not so technical, not so much calculated. He used all these methods, but behind the proof is the simple Zeno paradox. Zeno stood at the market in Rhodos, I think, and he told the people, I am a creed, and all creeds are liars. To put it a bit more mathematically, you could say, A says I am A. So A is equal A. And what could be better proven that A than A equal A? Isn't it a kind of basis of all equations? And it must be valid for any A, whatever it is. A says I am A. Now insert for A. Arijana says, Arijana, I am Arijana. It's true. Konrad, I am Konrad. But now you insert a liar. Then a liar says, I am a liar. And if he is a liar, he will not say so. And if he is not a liar, he will also not say so. This is one very nice answer to your question. Mathematicians do prove their fear. Not all, but Gödel, for instance.
Three. So then probability must be accounted for when motion creates uncertainties. Deterministic, static models replaced by statistical mathematics. Some art has also used models, alive or dead, but always allowing space for unmeasurable probabilities and accidents, and the personal when looking for truths. But if gravity still determines matter on the human scale, then where is art when it is invisible? Can language or mathematics explain it? The mathematics of playing and imagining, of lying, the law of error.
Arijana, now I put you on the test. You are in arts, which is a humanism, not a science. Mathematics is a humanism, not a science. It is a means of expression, axiomatic, within the universe of the imaginable, some islands of that ocean, on the border of which are written axioms. One thing cannot be identical to its contrary. Statements must be bi-valued, true or false. Any statement other is meaningless. Mathematics is a creation of the human mind. And it is limited, as we have seen. And now I come to the invisible and what is beyond logics. Even Aristotle, who produced the only logic we still really have, analytic prior posterior, he has all his life been busy with the syllogisms. I go into creation. And I challenge you, Arijana. When we create, so I claim, and I hope I'm in the company of the great philosophers whom I may just copy. When I create things that are being, that are becoming, and also of which I have no language to tell, but a brain to prove, of things which I am ignoring. On the wall is standing and or not. The philosopher may say, evidence, contradiction, blindness, brain blindness. The psychologist may say, association, attention for the differences, and sometimes he may call idea of the ignored. So I claim that we can even prove that our brain and our great philosophers had always been using simultaneously three principles when they were creating. In mathematics, we reduce them to two, in language already. So there is my answer to your question. The mathematics of playing and imagining, of lying, the law of error. The derivation of these three principles, and or not, is similar to Gödel's or Gauss' way, not a calculation. It's actually a symmetry principle similar to the nice mirrors you have on your seat. And it's as evident as when you look into this mirror, you can, from one simple symmetry principle, exactly deduce unlimited numbers of evidences, whatever face you make into it. You know in detail, precisely, the mirror face. And by such kind of symmetry argument, you will see that the lying can be raising attention, and the law of error can with precision and sharpness be created without having any more error, but from a totally different point of view, namely from inside.
The outside world interferes with every model. And as you told me, Konrad, time is not a metronome. So then, does the question decide the beat, or does the phrasing define the question?
Ludwig van Beethoven was at his time very impressed from the new precision of the chronometers and decided to put on his composition numbers, beats per minute. For 1 year and a half. Then, so I imagine, he threw the metronome out of the window. The same is true for a conductor. If a conductor gets an orchestra into the piece, there is something entirely different than metronome, than this type of precision. And if the musicians make a great work out of it, they have always the variation with them. They are always pushing and a posteriori coinciding, coming into. You see it wonderfully in the first movement of a conductor. He can ruin the whole piece by a metronome attitude. Now, what is the reason for that? And why is time such a particular, difficult thing for us to imagine? Why should a pianist playing his piece not be waiting for the fingers to follow, but be ahead? How come that Mozart, or let's put it in the words of Descartes, you put things together in music until they are one, and then you create, and then you improvise? How come? And I tell you, the answer are, in my words, 3 measurable principles in the cerebral cortex, which have long been seen much deeper by the philosophers. To call them and or not is not important. And to see them also only as and axons, not synapses inhibitions, not topologies and or synapses inhibitions, is a too narrow view on it. But you can see them everywhere. So you see, when you create, you always put attention to variation, and you put new things in contradictions, And one thing can very well be identical with itself. And on a higher level, you try to make associations, but you have an eye open for what you have been blind before. You come with ideas and create new worlds, such as I have shown you for the examples of Beethoven, Gödel, Gauss, Aristotle. There is no difference, I would even claim, in your arts, Arijana.
Two. Does insight need illumination? No, maybe it occurs in total darkness. I'm thirsty. I'm inspired.
And I expire.
Audience, hold the mirror in front of you and please follow the instructions on page 141 for a minute. Now open your eyes and put down your mirrors. And follow the instructions on page 143 for a minute. Are you closer to insight now?
Insight. All of a sudden, like the flash in the night, in independence, free of interest, rid of the merely personal, sharing insight by example. Who is your hero?
Art returns to the first steps of human expression. Before language was developed as a means of communal survival, making signs, forms, and sounds is the first outward directed action. We may try to explain, measure, and understand, but will it save us? Is it not the unexplained link that keeps it all together? You told me even Einstein spoke of remote, spooky action.
Well, Arijana, we physicists do not like the unexplained.